So let's go through this. Biden's Department of Justice basically just handed down a charge of criminal misinformation. And that seemingly made-up crime somehow led to a coordinated assault on the Capitol on January 6th. Now, this is a game-changing precedent. If Trump is convicted on this, is misinformation now a crime under case law? Are untrue political statements made by politicians or others, in other words, 99% of everything politicians ever say, is it now a potential crime? If misinformation is a crime, will they ever go after, let's say, the Washington Post for the crimes of misinformation that they have done on Hunter Biden? Under that precedent, are the actions of others considered the fault of the person that committed the said crime? We have to be very careful. What exactly is on trial here? Is it political speech? Is it lies? Is it anything the regime doesn't like said? And does it matter who said it? A judge assigned to this case is an Obama appointee. Okay, fine. In Washington, D.C. Her name is Tanya Chutkan. She is the only judge in D.C. who has handed down sentences to January 6 defendants that were longer than the government requested. To say Trump is attending a trial behind enemy lines is an understatement. This is a witch hunt. They want to throw him in jail, and all of the people are in place to make this happen. This indictment focuses on events that happened in 2020, but don't be fooled. This has nothing to do with 2020 and everything to do with 2024. I want to show you an interesting timeline. Tell me if this doesn't look curious. June 7th, the FBI releases documents to Congress alleging that the Bidens took $10 million bribe from Burisma. The very next day, June 8th, Jack Smith indicts Trump in Mar-a-Lago document case. July 26, Hunter Biden goes to court and rejects the sweetheart plea deal after it was revealed the DOJ tried to give him blanket immunity from all future prosecutions. The very next day, July 27th, Jack Smith adds more charges for Trump in the Mar-a-Lago case. July 31st, Hunter Biden's former business partner testifies to Congress that Joe Biden was on over 20 calls with his son's business partners and that Burisma executives pressured them to fire the prosecutor. The very next day, Jack Smith indicts Trump again for January 6th. Wow, that is a series of really remarkable coincidences, isn't it? This government, being run by Joe Biden and his allies, are using every deep state trick they can. They seem to be working hand in hand with the left now for several years. Their next big target is 2024, and it is something Democrats have been getting ready for years. They have been building systems, plans, and helping impose new election laws that will turn the 2020 debacle into the new normal. Tonight, I'm going to lay out all of this on my Wednesday night special. You don't want to miss it at 9 p.m. and 9:30 on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Glenn Beck. It's exposed the deep plans, the deep state plans for the 2024 election. Now, I have to tell you, there's a lot of stuff that we can't tell you about because we can't get information on it. The president had a government-wide operation. It was one of his first executive orders on how to register new voters. That the driver's license, the farm, the FDA, the Agricultural Commission, the Department of the Interior, all of them told government-wide, your priority is to register voters. Congress has been trying to get the details on that, and the White House will not turn them over. What are they doing? Now, Jonathan Turley says this is the first criminal indictment of alleged disinformation. If you take a red pen to all of the material that is protected by the First Amendment, you can reduce much of the indictment to haiku. He said, I felt the Mar-a-Lago indictment was strong, but this is the inverse. We also have Alan Dershowitz on in about an hour, and he's going to talk about it as well. He says this is not going to survive, and it's very, very dangerous. The Trump campaign set out yesterday, and they said the lawlessness of these persecutions of President Trump and his supporters is reminiscent of Nazi Germany in the 1930s. Also, the former Soviet Union and all other authoritarian dictatorial regimes. President Trump has always followed the law and the Constitution with advice from many highly accomplished attorneys. Trump was charged with 4 counts. Now, some of this goes to what the people up in, Wisconsin a couple of weeks ago, who were electoral college people. They decided that they were going to switch their votes and send in another set of electoral college votes. And Trump was encouraging this. They say that that was highly illegal, and those people have to go to jail for it. Well, may I just say, in the truth's defense, could you please listen to this television ad that was run in the few months before the 2020 election from Hollywood and the Democrats? Listen to what they're saying.
Republican members of the Electoral College, this message is for you. As you know, our founding fathers built the Electoral College to safeguard the American people from the dangers of a demagogue and to ensure that the presidency only goes to someone who is to an eminent degree endowed with the requisite qualifications.
An eminent degree. Someone who is highly qualified for the job.
The Electoral College was created specifically to prevent an unfit candidate from becoming president.
There are 538 members of the Electoral College. You
and just 36 other conscientious Republican electors can make a difference.
By voting your conscience on December 19th.
And thereby shaping the future of our nation.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
As you know, the Constitution gives electors the right to vote for any eligible person.
Any eligible person, no matter which party they belong to.
But it should certainly be someone you consider especially competent.
Especially competent to serve as President of the United States of America.
By voting your conscience, you and other brave Republican electors can give the House of Representatives the option to select a qualified candidate for the presidency.
I stand with you.
I stand with you.
I stand with you.
I stand with you in support and solidarity with conservatives, independents, and liberals.
And all citizens of the United States.
The American people trust that your voice speaks for us all.
And that you will make yourself heard through the constitutional responsibility granted to you.
Stop. I don't think we need any more, Your Honor. I think the case has been made. Now, I don't like the fact that you're going to try to influence Electoral College voters and tell them, hey, switch your vote. You're not tied to that. I don't like that. But that is part of the deal. I am against that. I was against that, and this was in 2016. I was against that in 2016, against that in 2020, and against that now. But it's not a crime. It may be unseemly, it might be dirty, but when you have a party that has done everything that the Democrats have done to rig an election through Zuckerbucks and everything else, and you truly don't feel that this was an honest election, now I don't. Now, it may have all been legal. I'm not saying the voting machines, threw it. I think there was enough irregularity that a real look at the last election was needed and necessary. I don't know if there were enough votes to throw it to Donald Trump, but I have a hard time believing the numbers. But just because I believe it doesn't make it true. My feelings don't matter. The facts matter. And the facts of what they're charging Donald Trump with matter. He believed that election was stolen. And I think any reasonable person, can see how he might have thought that. They had tried everything. I even went over with the White House, and they wouldn't listen to me. I went over with the White House over and over and over again. You have no idea what the Democrats are really planning. They had a whole plan to take the streets and demand, exactly like January 6th, to take the streets and demand that Donald Trump not accept the presidency, or they would split the country in half. That's their words, their plan. And now, all of a sudden, they're the good guys. No, I'm sorry. Facts actually matter. Now, when you look at Biden, there is a real problem. And this is why that timeline was so important. The timeline is important because things are changing and they need to stop the hemorrhaging as quickly as they can. We are now 49 years ago this month. We are now marking the 49th anniversary this month of Richard Nixon's resignation. So the president is hemorrhaging voters, hemorrhaging. Black voters, Latinos, independents, disaffected Republicans. It is now 15 months until Election Day 2024, and the coalition that carried Biden to a victory that was unheard of may not happen this time because he's hemorrhaging. According to New York Times Siena College poll, Biden and Trump are tied at 43% among registered voters. That's crazy. A combined 14% say they would support a different candidate, or they wouldn't vote or refuse to answer. But look at the crosstabs here. In the poll, Biden leads Trump by 10 points among voters 18 to 29. In the 2020 exit poll, he had a 24-point advantage, so he's down 14 points. He's up 12 points among women when it was 15 points in 2020. He's ahead by 59 points among black voters, but it was 75 points his last election. Up 3 points among Latinos, down from 33 points. So his border policies, it's very friendly to Latinos. Really? Because he's only up 3. He's lost 30 points of Latinos. And with independents, he's ahead by 5 points when it was 13 points. Now, he still has a 43% favorable rating. Trump has a 41%. But people are on it. 49 years ago this month, Richard Nixon had to resign. In the wake of the whistleblower testimony on bribery and corruption allegations, now the majority believe that these scandals are serious. And they agree, the majority of people agree, it's likely that the president is involved in a part of an illegal cover-up. Listen to these numbers. 61% believe the financial and bribery scandals linking first son Hunter Biden to his father are serious, with only 29% of the population going, it's no big deal. Worse for the president, 44% believe the scandal is very serious and that he took part in money phone calls with Hunter Biden's clients. 42% of Democrats agree with that. Now, this is a Rasmussen poll. They generally lean to the right. It's a pool made up of 36% Democrats, 33% Republicans, 31% independents. On the question of an illegal cover-up, 60% believe the president is part of an illegal cover-up to hide his involvement in his son Hunter Biden's foreign business deals. Of those, 45% said it's very likely, and 36% of Democrats agreed. In Watergate, most believe it was Nixon's effort to cover up the illegal break-in to the Democratic Party headquarters. It wasn't the crime, it was the cover-up. And in that cover-up, Nixon was often accused of using his Justice Department and other agencies to attack his enemies list. Rasmussen found similar concern among current likely voters, asked if, like Nixon, Joe Biden had used the weaponization of government to benefit his family and deny Congress the ability to have oversight. 58% agreed, 43% strongly agreed, and 35% disagreed. And this is just getting started. Now, if we could get the Senate maybe to do some work on this, or at least tweet, or what do you call it? X it. This is so stupid. If you could get the Senate involved and, Turtle Mitch to poke his head out from his shell and go, oh, looks like maybe there's something to investigate, it would be helpful, GOP.